What's up, YouTube? Magicide here. Welcome back to Geek Fest for the Naathi playthrough 2.0. We are playing on Crusader Kings 1.7.1 and the latest A Game of Thrones mod 1.5. So we're having to do a restart because I think the problem with my last playthrough was that I upgraded right in the middle of my campaign, and that is always a big no-no. Should never do that because it always creates some really weird situations, and it can actually break your save file. Luckily, it didn't break mine, but it did create some really crazy stuff, we'll say. I had that Liberation Revolt where they ended up winning, but then the person, instead of taking over the duchy title, just became king and had an overwhelming amount of troops. That was going to create an awful rest of my campaign, and I really wanted to not have some really off-the-wall, absurd, random shit like that happen. So I decided to just restart. And no, it wasn't because I just rage quitted and wanted to restart. It wasn't like that. It just, I want like a nice random game where all of the mechanics are supposed to work. So we're going to get started here. We started in the same bookmark, which is the Robert's Rebellion. I went ahead and in the game rules, I decided what I wanted, but I wanted to go over what I was actually going to do. We're actually going to put on the religious conversion speed to faster, simply because there's no longer the option to actually force convert your courtiers and vassals and things like that. So I feel like that's a pretty good compromise. Let's see here. I put the adventures on rare because, that was a revolt, and it was awful. It was so many damn troops. I'm just going to keep adventures on rare. Let's see here. Shattered Retreat off. I know I put the revolts, I think, on fewer, I believe. Let's go through here real quick. Yeah, provincial revolts. We're going to make them rare. I think I had them on rare before, which is kind of weird that I got them. Let's see here. Regency's on. So most of the stuff is still the same. I think there were a few things that I decided to change. The High Valyrian Call, when I originally said that, I wasn't exactly sure what that was, and then when I actually Googled it and found out what it was, I'm going to turn that off. We actually really want High Valyrian culture and High Valyrian people in our game, and if this was on, it would automatically kill them, I think, after the first year or first day, or I don't remember what it is, but it actually kills a whole bunch of the High Valyrian people, I think, that are unlanded. So we're going to keep that off. We actually want to keep them in game. Dual randomness, we want that to be the same. I think I kept most of this stuff the exact way I had it before. Okay, so this is the other option that I turned off, was the traditional dynastic claims. We're not going to have the great houses of Westeros that are automatically going to form, because I feel like the powerhouse in whatever kingdom that we're talking about, it could be Dorne or the North or wherever else, if Winterfell ends up consolidating their power, they're going to have claims on the rest of the area, and since they're going to be the major power base in the area, there's a good chance that they're going to actually form the North, and I actually think that I want that off. I want to see who actually consolidates their power and creates the kingdom titles, so we're going to leave that as is. I believe that was the only other thing that I changed in here besides the revolt. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna just save over our previous save. Actually, you know what? We're gonna delete it, and then we're just gonna create a new save file. Let's go ahead and delete that one too. We don't want that one. All right. So here we go. I don't know if we're actually gonna get that event to get Roller again. And I'm really tempted just to leave the Summer Isles alone, considering the fact that the last time sucked. Oh, there was another option that I actually did change, was the, it was, I believe, the culture conversion, or no, it was the de jure drift. I changed that so that way it can happen even though we don't have a bordering province. Since we're playing with the Isles, I would really prefer that if we start in Naath like we are, and I go over here and conquer this area, since we don't border them before, those titles would stay within the de jure what is it, the Kingdom of the Summer Isles. But since I turned that off, let's say I conquer this duchy all over again, and I think it's 100 years and stays within my kingdom, it'll actually become my de jure kingdom. So we're going to do that. The other thing I actually really wanted to do was to change my flag, my coat of arms here. I don't know if we can actually do that. Can we do that anymore? Is that possible? There was an option here. Maybe I'll actually look into that when I'm not recording. I was tempted to do the ruler designer, but I was like, nah. I think that's not exactly what I was going for here. Let's go ahead and get married. We don't have the ambition. You know what? That's right. Because we start off in Regency. We're 12 years old, and we don't really have much of an option to do anything until I think we turn 14, if I'm not mistaken. Do we have a better commander? We do not. Okay, so we start off with some really shitty counselors here. These are terrible. I'm hoping to replace them at some point. But let's go ahead and have you oversee. We're going to have you fabricate. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go east. We're going to focus on the Pirate Islands, the Basilisk Isles. All right, collect taxes, and you need to scheme, which I think you are doing by default, and we'll have you perform charity down here. We need a court physician, so let's do that. Okay, we can create our duchy title, which we will. I don't think we can change the laws because we're still not of age yet, right? All right, and then we need to make that our crown focus. And I think that's all we can do at the moment. All right, so let's boost up our speed here. So we're back at square one. Unfortunately, that's just the way this game is. It's a big no-no to upgrade your game. So if, like, Paradox, you're in the middle of a campaign and Paradox decides to release a patch or a new DLC with a patch, you should always keep it in the same patch that you were playing in previous to the released patch or the DLC or whatever. Otherwise, there's a chance it could just completely break up your game, or there's just some really weird things that can happen, and that's exactly what happened to us. So we can get a Mystic here for prestige and some purity. Let's go ahead and do that. I'd rather have a court physician than not have a court physician. We're going to have you serve our court. And what do we got here? Bodyguards, right. So we got one really terrible. Can we actually, we have a little bit of money here. Let's pause the game real quick. Intrigue, let's go and get a new courtier. Let's get a sellsword. We have a guy with 11 martial. I think he might actually be better than the one we have. He is indeed. So we're going to have you do that same exact stuff. And we're going to have this temple vassal of mine become a commander. And we can actually have some bodyguards here. Excellent. You are my guardian. Can I actually switch guardians? Let's see here. Rank. So we want... Okay, so we have an envious, arbitrary, brilliant steward, which would be good. Well, let's go ahead and do it, because he's our merchant class vassal, and he's gonna like us a little bit more and provide us with some more gold. It's always a good decision. We are really hurting on stats, but I think our stats improve once we actually come of age. So, back at square one, waiting for them claims, baby. Oh yeah. Since none of these people here have the ability just to form their kingdoms because they get the de jure claims, it'll be very interesting to see how this goes. And let's actually take a look at where's the King's Landing here. So the Mad King is still alive, and you have a peace with Lord Perkin. So where is Mr. Robert at? Okay, so you have you have a bunch of weak claims on these things. So he's automatically going to war with Rhaegar in Dragonstone. Okay. These people that I grew up with, we all bonded over the years. Okay, so we get some opinion boosts to some other chillins. Oh, man. Let's see if Lord Robert ends up becoming a pirate again. That was pretty cool. All right, so we become kind. Oh, you bastard. So we're not kind. We're no longer rude, though. That's promising. We are deceitful, though, which gives us some intrigue. That was the problem with the previous playthrough, is none of my rulers, none of my monarchs had any kind of intrigue to really write home about. Which is awful because, you know, there was some actual plots and things that we could have done. Actually, you know, we need to auto-stop those plots. And it looks like the mod developers probably fixed that bug since I set the recruit court physician here to pop up when I actually need one. I'm not getting that pop-up anymore since I recruited one. Which is great because that was really annoying. And I would actually like to keep that as a little event toast, a little event pop-up telling me that I need to recruit a new one because my previous one died or got pissed off and left my quarter, or whatever the case. Let's see here. My birthday was on the 1st of January. So we got a few more years. Not too long. I think when I turn 14 is when I can start doing things like getting married. But I honestly don't remember. Last game, my 14-year-old grandson, heir of an heir, was already pumping out kids. Okay, so my sister comes of age, and I think I can start marrying you people. I don't remember. Let's see here. So we have an attractive man here, 15. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do this yet because I'm not old enough. So I still have a regent. And I can finally take that option to get married. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look and see if we get blessed with some inheritable traits. We do not. Okay, so we are 14. You want to get married, and you're ruthless. But you have a pretty decent stewardship, so let's do that. Oh, God damn it. So it's not going to be approved by my regent, right? Is that the way this game's going to do it to me? Yes, her. Her, damn it. This one. Yeah, it needs to be approved by my regent. Who is my goddamn regent? Who is this person? My seneschal. My genius seneschal, that's right. Fine, Uluhuru. We'll see how we play with that when I come of age and I start to slap you silly. We're also going to try not to be so much of a tyrant this time around, because that tyrannical stain trait, it was pretty bad. I know I did commit quite a bit of tyrannical actions, but it was probably best for my realm at the time. We're not going to do that this time. We're going to try to play a little peaceful. I'm going to hope that I get that event to switch to Roller, because we're still going to want to actually come around here and go to war and things like that. And the malices, the hits to prestige and purity suck. Okay, so is he going to let me keep patient? God damn you. This guy right here, you were doing so well before, and now you're pissing me off because I'm getting all these great traits and you're saying no. I hate Regency Councils. There's that option to actually turn them off that I'm almost always tempted to do it, but I just feel like it breaks immersion. It just makes the game a little too easy, because there's a lot of really awful shenanigans that can happen when you're in Regency that I feel like should be in the game. It should be part of the challenge. So we're just going to roll with them punches. In a few more months, we're going to hit 15. And I think we're going to get our adult traits, if I'm not mistaken, when we hit 15. And then after that, we can get married. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky here and get blessed with a available person that I can get married to that has some inheritable traits. Like even something small, I don't mind if you're just attractive. Attractive is better than nothing. I'd prefer if you were a genius or quick or even strong. And I think there was that other one that I saw, a giant. Was the other one? I don't know if that's actually inheritable or not. It'd be pretty cool if it was. It would make sense that it was, because dwarf is inheritable. Alright, so we get some purity from the charity. And looks like we can install a new bodyguard. Oop. Okay, so Iskender here is going to become my new bodyguard. So I'm wondering where the option was to actually get handmaidens and stuff. I guess maybe I don't have that option yet because I'm not of age. Not yet, anyways. Got a little less than a year to go before I'm able to do all this stuff. I could have probably just started this game, this new campaign, the new restart, the new version of this, and just started it off until I got out of Regency, but I actually really wanted to go over to the game options just real quick and just kind of get a fresh start with you guys, just to make sure that you guys understand what I'm doing here, that I wasn't really changing it up to make my game easier or whatever. So we got some progress here, it looks like, in some of these areas. Looks like Lys and Mir are gaining in power. And the last time we played, we had this huge Dothraki sea, and then we had Lono, Tano, or the other Dothraki group. Okay, so we've gained Humble. Humble isn't bad. It's better than Content. We're going to get some Purity. So we might actually, after we get married, we might actually want to make our new focus. Since we're humble, we might want to actually make it a Paragon of Virtue, because I think I might actually have the ability to really get it this time. But I might not want to actually do that right away. Oh, for Christ's sake, look at this. Okay, so you guys, the developers of the mod, have not fixed this bug, because I still, look at this, I still have a court physician, but now I'm getting the pop-up to hire another one. Like, I like the ability, or the pop-up saying that I have the option to hire a new one in case I don't like my current one. But I don't like the fact that it just pops up, even though I don't, you know, it's like one of those types of things where, like, look, you know, if I have a really shitty court physician, I have the option of hiring a new one. That's great. But I already have one. I don't need to have it. There almost should be a second option in there to say, to either turn it on or off based upon whether or not you actually have one currently. I think that would probably make a little bit more sense and make it a little less annoying, because I wouldn't get that pop-up and then have to sit there and micromanage that option. Alright, so we get some more purity from some more charity work here. Alright, so our regency is done. Now we can do stuff. Let us get married right away. Okay, so we are not blessed. And we have a 13-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 12-year-old. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with my original idea. I like the idea of her. We're going to take that huge prestige hit, but that's okay with me. We are going to... Jesus, man, our stewardship sucks. Let's go carousing, because last time we played, we had a lot of prestige problems, and this is going to help us out. Besides, I would really like that socializer trait. Let's see, we can actually get another designated regent, which I think... while our genius is good, why don't we have... Boy, this is really tough. So if I give him the designated regent, it's going to improve his opinion of us. But he's envious, and that's bad. And not only that, but he's also a zealot. So if I just magically come into another regency council and I get the option to convert, I don't think he's going to let me. But he is a little bit older. Oh, man. I think I'm going to have to choose Iskender here, my bodyguard. I don't really think I have much else choice than that. Okay, so we get a courtier, my Missandei, which I think is the Missandei. Although I think she might actually be... Wasn't she really young in the books? Wasn't she, like, still a child, technically? So let's change some laws here. We want city taxation to be large. Absolute. What else do we have the option to do here? So our military situation's looking good. We don't have the money to do that. And I don't know if we really want to do that anymore. Okay, so we actually can do it because we have the money. I'm actually gonna... I don't know. The last time I did this was in between episodes, and I got completely screwed over for it. I think it's kind of dangerous. I should probably do a little bit more research and find out exactly what are the options from that. So let's not do that. I don't feel safe. A little risky. Alright, so Cult of Starry Wisdom and the Alchemist Guild, you have to be horrible people to join those. So we fulfilled our ambition to get married. You know, which is weird. We should get the pop-up to actually choose between getting the money or the prestige, and we did not get that for whatever reason. Let's take the ambition to have a son, because we want a son. And let's start partying. And let's get our carousing invites to everybody. And we can actually get another bodyguard. I thought I already made you a bodyguard. Wow, she's got 14 Marshall. That's right. Let's go to my positions here. You need to get married to my sister here. I'm going to lose a whole bunch of prestige for that, but oh well, I'd rather take the prestige hit at the moment. You know what? Let's have my chief general... Actually, before I do that... Okay, so he... That's my seneschal. I don't want my seneschal leading troops here. So Iskender is going to have to replace him. Well, so... Do I have anybody better than you? No, I don't. I have somebody better than you, but I don't really want to piss you off. But you've got 10, so we're going to do that. So we're going to make a little bit less money because I pissed off my previous Lord Treasurer. Oh, it's a little unfortunate that I couldn't install the other guy. Okay, so Miss Andai, I can't make her my Chief General, but I can make her my Spy Master, and I think I'm going to do that. We're going to have her scheme, and then we're going to marry my Chief General, probably to Miss Andai. How about that? Okay. Oh, Miss Andai. Alright, so we'll do it matrilineally. And I believe you're the only other person I can marry, so let's go ahead and do that. So we need another bodyguard, which will be you. And, alright, I already sent out my carousing invites. It looks like I have to marry, who is this, my brother? Okay. Let's have my brother marry this lady here. And do I have any other siblings that I need to be aware of? I think I just married them all. Alright. So we're getting our party invites coming back favorably here, which is great. Okay, people are getting married. They accepted my betrothal proposal. And look at that, ladies and gents. Negative prestige. That's the problem with having the God of Harmony. It's because when we have some claims and we go to war, we're going to lose some more prestige. And it's going to be awful. Having negative prestige just sucks because it gives you negative opinions with everybody. So for instance, let's go to my wife here. She should have a negative opinion. Yeah, prestige -4. And looks like my one vassal here doesn't like me very much. Okay, so we're going to go carousing. Let's actually... I almost want to revoke his title. Almost. Okay, so I don't have the prestige to do it. Terrible! That's just awful. It's painful. Okay, so we have become best friends. We became BFFs with Isidore, my bodyguard. Alright, so we get a little bit of diplomacy and some prestige to offset this. That's the nice thing about the carousing, is that it's going to help really boost up my prestige. seeing that I'm sitting in the negatives right now. All right, so you have full opinions of me. I don't think I can actually marry you to anybody. I wonder here, can I actually imply a new courtier, a young debutante? You sound good to me. She's chaste, though, but we are going to marry you off to my bestie. Let's do it. That's probably a good way of possibly getting better courtiers, is hiring young debutantes, because I think they have the chance of maybe having some inheritable traits. Not entirely certain on that, but I'd put my money on it. Because I know in the vanilla game I've gotten people like that. I don't know if I've gotten full-out geniuses, but I think I've gotten people that were strong and attractive before. Okay, so we've got an improved relation. You know something? I should probably be doing that because I have vassals here that are a little mad at me. But I don't want to do that because I'm fabricating claims. Okay, so it's going to be my seneschal being the one that does it. And he's already doing it. Alright. So we've got the money now. Let's go ahead and do what we did before. Let's build our private farms because it gives us some troops and a little bit more tax income. Otherwise, I could save up my money, and I think it was Castle Town. We're making okay money. I think we should just go ahead and get the private farms right away. And I believe the... Wow, okay, so they boosted up the price of the force. They used to be 20. And maybe it's just with this mod. Okay, my brother is now of legal age, and they can get married. Let's do it. Alright. Looks like my seneschal has done something pretty good here. Hard at work in Naathi, increasing infrastructure and motivating local people to work ever harder. Okay, so brother got married. So why does my brother getting married give me this event, but when I got married, I didn't get this event? That makes no sense to me. Give me money. 25 gold's good. I'm not going to host a wedding. Yeah, I'm going to lose a bunch of gold if I do that. I don't want to do that. I think I can actually go carousing again, perhaps. Recent carousing, it expires in 16 July of this year. Okay. So it looks like my sister's a hoe. She's sleeping around again. She did this in the last game. They must have like hard-coded her into doing this. Because I could swear, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. I could swear in one of my playthroughs a long time ago, playing as the Naathi people, that she did the same thing. Like maybe this is just what's supposed to happen. She goes and whores herself. I don't know if I actually want to build a fort this time. They're a little bit more expensive. If they were 20 gold, I say yes. But since they're not 20 gold anymore, they're double the price. And not double the fun. Let's not do that. Let's send my vassal here a little bit of gold. So he likes me now. Oh, look at that. He's providing me with 8.1 ducats a month now. Let's see here. When can I actually change the law? I know it's going to be a while. 96. Okay. So waifu is pregnant. Start pumping out those kids, man. I want to have a whole litter of puppies. Okay, so looks like my brother is trying to replace my justiciar. Well, that's too bad. I like him where he's at. All right. So spend a little bit of money, a little bit of gold, and that whole bunch of prestige to go to war. We're gonna do it right away. And since we're going to do that, we are going to fab that claim over here. You have 627 troops and a non-aggression pact I don't really give a shit about. Let's go ahead and do it again. Go to war. And go to war. Yep, lose some more prestige. Holy shiza. Alright, let's raise our troops here. Oops, let's pause. And get our ships. Actually, 17 troops isn't bad. Let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so take a look at our people here. Excuse me. Son was born. to my sister, and this is their bastard. All right. So it looks like they're gonna sit. They have their troops chilling right here, and I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait for me to actually land my troops before they put their troops on my island. So what we're gonna do. Okay, we had reports of the great misfortune has befallen your aunt. She's been sailing near the Isle of Flies when they were attacked by a flotilla of pirates.